Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to the Black Mirror. Let's continue. So, we've seen some oddness in the main character telling the servants to board up to clean the fountain, and then the guy who he told to clean the fountain died in the fountain. And now we're telling the stable master that they call a groom for some reason. I still haven't figured out why. It must just be Old English. He's telling him to board up the well. And the old lady, Victoria, also had the attic boarded up by Bates, the main butler, who we're actually looking for right now. So I'm wondering if maybe there's a external influence, some kind of ghost or magic that is convincing people that things need to be boarded up, things need to be hidden, trying to secretly keep secrets secret while not revealing itself.
Someone must be down there.
And we're playing this game, so we're going to reveal secrets, and we're in a new area, which is nice. That is some weird sounds. Chains.
Wine kegs full of quality red.
So, one would assume that they have a vineyard somewhere, because the grounds of this castle doesn't really strike me as a place that where a vineyard could be maintained. Here's the well, and here's Bates grinding something. A different well, I imagine.
This well is from the era when the castle was under siege. It was supposed to connect the castle with an underground system of corridors, but that's merely old hearsay. No one has ever seen those corridors.
So nobody's gone down the well?
It's several tens of meters deep, but the water from it can't be drunk.
Oh, it's flooded too, so get a scuba diver down there. And Bates is sharpening what looks like a stabbing implement in what looks like a dungeon. Of course, apparently we can just walk around. Like chains with hooks on them.
It's empty. There's nothing in it.
Looks like there's some kind of pump controls. And the pump.
The pump is part of an entire water distribution system. It pumps the water in and out endlessly, according to immediate needs.
But it's not the drinking water?
This is where our best vintages are stored. The temperature as well as degree of dampness is ideal.
So, in the UK, they do have a weird thing where old buildings had a tank of water that they kept full in their attics. Of course, this is a much older building than before that point, and still in the UK buildings, the cold water and the hot water are actually not connected at all, and there was some danger of getting germs in the hot water tank, or was it the cold water tank? One of them. So kids in the UK often learned not to drink from one tap, but it was safe to drink from the other. It probably wasn't very safe either way.
Sometime later. I have no time for that.
Still pretty pixel hunty, but we don't really know what we're even trying to do. We're trying to talk to Bates, I guess, and maybe the pump control would drain the pond outside too, the fountain.
Bates.
Axes on the wall.
Yes.
Yes, sir?
Bates, can the fountain back in the garden be drained?
Yes, there is a big pump in the cellar. It controls the water flow for the whole castle. It is possible to adjust the water level. However, I do not think it is a good idea to drain it after what happened. And Detective Collier should probably be notified about it, sir.
I'm merely considering all the alternatives.
Interesting.
We have the right to find out what happened. Do you understand?
You have the right to interfere with an investigation?
It is probably best not to tell anyone. Is that what you meant, sir?
Well, we already know he was going to close the case anyway, so if it's not an active case, then are you really interfering with an investigation? Interesting question.
You said you were there when they dragged Henry out of the fountain.
Unfortunately, I was. The sight was terrible.
Where's the wind that is rattling these chains?
I feel responsible for what happened to him.
Why would you say something like that, sir?
Well, I ordered him to clean the fountain. He did not want to do it, but I insisted.
You mustn't think that way, sir. Surely, if he had not been drunk, nothing would have happened. And I actually heard Dr. Herman say that his death occurred sometime after midnight. It is not your fault. Certainly, he would not be cleaning it in the middle of the night.
I really hope so. Bates is probably right. Henry most likely fell in there by accident. I spoke to Collier. As you can imagine, he asked me a lot of curious questions. Tell me, what did he question you about?
Many things. But most of all, he was interested in the place where we found Henry. It was very unpleasant having to describe it all over again, sir.
Oh? Can you repeat to me what you told me?
I was afraid you would ask.
It was unpleasant to describe it. Describe it.
I was awakened by a sharp knock at the door of my room. Morris was shouting something about Henry. He seemed utterly confused, rapidly pouring out incoherent sentences. He wanted me to go with him to the back garden immediately. At that moment, I still had no inkling of what had transpired.
Did you go with him right to the fountain?
Yes, and only there did I realize what had happened. It took me a while to come to myself again, but then I went straight to the telephone.
What time was it?
It was about 6 in the morning. Collier and Dr. Herman arrived an hour later. That is all, sir. You know the rest.
Yes. Thanks for being so patient, Bates. When did Dr. Herman leave?
A lot of information here.
He took Henry's body to the old morgue.
Did he mention to anyone what he thought about all this?
We had a long conversation with the detective, but I have no idea what they were speaking about. I was so distraught, I was not really listening.
All right. That's all then, Bates.
What is little
Hmm.
What was Morris doing in the back garden so early in the morning? His work is in the stable, right?
Yes, but he sometimes helps with the gardening. Henry cannot do everything that needs to be done. I mean, he was not...
Bates, why don't you take the rest of the day off? You don't have to work under the circumstances.
No, sir. I do not want to just be sitting around brooding. I'd rather attend to my responsibilities. It helps take my mind off things.
I understand.
It feels like Bates
I will go now.
is getting set up to die of old age and exhaustion. He keeps mentioning he's so old.
They're full of clean water. The cellar is quite cold, so the water is always cool.
So, what do? Do they pull the water out of the well, boil it, put it to clean water here, or do they have a secondary well? Like, why are there axes in this cellar, by the way? There's really no reason for that. Well, we probably did have to talk to Bates, but boy am I uninterested in hearing people just talk at this point.
Water distribution controls. I have no idea which one does what.
Well, let's just turn them all off.
I have no idea which one does what.
Can I not try anything? Apparently I can't. So I have to find somebody who can tell me how to control the thing before I can even try to control the thing. So I'm gonna have to go talk to everybody a second time.
I would like to ask you about something.
Well,
Certainly.
clearly he knows something.
Bates, that pump we talked about,
Yes, sir.
I think it is broken. Which valve controls the water level?
The pump works all right, sir. Only one of the input valves broke off some time ago. The water level can still be adjusted using the other valves. It just takes a moment to figure out the right setup for what you want to do.
How do I know if I have drained the fountain then?
If I remember correctly, the second column from the right displays the level of water in the fountain.
I will give it a try.
So it's a puzzle,
I'll return to my work.
which I'm glad to see the game is actually pushing us into more gameplay. Yeah, maybe in the next 10 hours, if this game was really, really good and it put us into a lot more gameplay, maybe you would just forget the first third of the game was really, really slow. I guess maybe that would make sense. So the idea here is something is going to affect at least two things. The thing, though, that I'm saying is this isn't actually ever going down. So there might be some balancing element here where we have to really work on this. And unless we were trying to fill everything, I think I may have failed. Because the idea, I assume, is to get it all the way to 0. Let's exit and come back. Oh, maybe I can right-click these. Ah, I see. Alright. So when it's at the maximum... This whole right-click system is pointless. And it gets stopped at a certain point. Alright. And see, this one can't turn when I right click it, and it can't turn when I left click it. So there probably needs to be these interact in some strange way. And this, I guess, does just seem to follow the idea that we're supposed to fill it up. Because I'm succeeding in getting the levels rather high.
Ready.
So apparently I wasn't even trying to adjust the second one, I was trying to adjust this one. Well, whatever. So either I solved the puzzle by 100% excellent there, or we've drained something different. We can't look at the well, so that tells me it's got to be the fountain. I don't even know what the other two things could be. And you can't have too many puzzles like that back to back, otherwise it's gonna be a little annoying of a game. But you right now probably have too few puzzles. I feel like we should probably have some more simplistic things done. And look, there's another symbol.
I can't see anything, just mud. Where is that shiny thing? A sign of some sort, or a symbol.
So it's like a ritualistic symbols. And do we even have the camera still? Yes, we do, so we'll take a picture of it.
I'll take a picture of it, just like the first symbol.
Which that inherently messes with the whole idea of the thought that I was supposed to get the camera developed earlier. Let's see if maybe this works with the symbol. Just to see. Apparently not. Here's the key.
This must be the thing that glittered at the bottom.
And that would have been easy enough to miss. So let's just make sure we pixel hunt, swiping the mouse over everything just to make sure don't miss anything. I think we're good though to continue down a linear path. I keep saying play linearly, play like a line. You're kind of having to force it into the game to make sure you aren't wasting a lot of time. If I can get the bill of sale, it probably will hopefully let me leave. And if I can leave, then I can get the second piece, and then maybe we can get a little bit further.
Some papers and a few coins. Bill isn't here. Where could he have put it? A letter. It's addressed to Victoria. Madam, please regard this letter as one from an anonymous friend. One of your servants is not who he pretends to be. You may find it interesting that he is an ex-prisoner.
And a thief. On several occasions, I watched him sneak quietly into the castle cellar, using the old back door. I saw that person take away several bottles of some of the best vintages of your wine that you value so much. No doubt, some of your other valuables have also gone astray. I decided to write you this letter to prevent further stealing. The person's name is Morris.
Henry meant to blackmail Morris. I am curious as what Morris will tell me about this.
Interesting you're throwing in the thought that he meant to blackmail Morris. I would have assumed that he was actually just going to give that letter, and Morris is a thief. It seems like that is probably true. So no bill of sale. However, so again we are walking back around. Many scenes. Many scenes. Let's double click on them to try to skip. To get back to Morris. This game desperately needs a shortcut map. It wouldn't even intrinsically make the game shorter for a first-time player. It would only just make it more efficient when the player knows what they're supposed to be doing. So which of his legs is he missing or is injured? He's not missing one, it seems. I see 2 boots here, so he's not missing a leg, so one may be injured, but not noticeably.
Morris, I know you've been stealing wine from our cellars.
Me, sir? Who told you that?
No one told me. I read it in a letter that Henry wrote to Victoria. So what do you say about that?
Well, I only took a few bottles, sir. I swear. There's such a lot of them in there, I thought nobody would notice. It won't happen again, I promise. Will you give me that letter, sir?
All right, Morris. But I'm going to be watching you.
What
Here
a
it
way
is.
to respond.
I will go then.
All right, sir.
Although, you know, responding so stupidly and giving the evidence to Morris might actually have saved the main character's life, because I wouldn't be surprised if he took the letter and said, "Thank you, sir," and then just stabbed him and murdered him right then and there. Particularly if he killed Henry. What's another murder? Can we leave? Yes, we can. And we have a new place on the map too, so we can go to the doctor's house, which I guess this implies that there's a chance that there would be things over here, maybe something here, probably something here. Being in a new area is gonna be
I would wish you
helpful.
a nice day, but that is not what it is today. To what do I owe you a visit?
What did he just throw away and
Yesterday
lock?
to come over.
Let us not discuss things outside in the rain. Please follow me. Better, is it not? Do you mind going down to the morgue with me? I have a lot of work to do. We can speak there.
Not a problem.
And
Let's
see,
go.
this area
Watch out for
looks
the steps.
pretty
There's not
spooky
much
and
light
creepy.
here, and the dampness can make your footing dangerous.
Now, unless there's some kind of water wheel running that ceiling fan, you have to assume there's electricity in this building, and that's certainly the case here. Those are definitely electric lights. And we get a creepy sound.
So, what would you like to know?
Let's see. William Henry.
I have returned as per our conversation yesterday. This won't take long. I would only like to ask a couple of questions.
Let me guess. This is about William, right?
Yes. You mentioned some bad burns on his body.
On the chest area, to be more specific. Yes.
So,
So, what?
when we talked yesterday, you said you would tell me more about it. That is why I am here.
Is that what I said? Well, I can only repeat what I have already told you. Massive
Interesting.
burns on the chest caused by an unknown object.
Was he branded?
An unknown object? What you're saying is different from what you already told me.
I can't remember. Those were just initial theories, anyway. I have recorded everything in the post-mortem account. Shall I quote from it?
That won't be necessary. It seems Dr. Herman has lost his memory since yesterday. Why is he concealing what he originally wanted to tell me after we had first met?
Maybe people are
Death report would be
being
interesting,
influenced.
but not in his presence.
But are they being influenced by a natural force like the detective, or an unnatural force like a ghost?
I spoke with Detective Collier about Henry's death.
It was inevitable that he would end this way. He was a lost cause.
What do you mean?
Well, it certainly was not the first time something happened to that man after he drank himself into a stupor. I know this well because it was I who had to restore him to normalcy after the other bouts. It was not usually serious. However, on this occasion, he overestimated his capacity for drink for the last time.
This is rather awkward. But you see, Henry had something important that belongs to me. I have looked just about everywhere and have not found it. So it occurred to me that he might have had it with him, and that you...
So, what is this it supposed to be?
Actually, it's just a small piece of paper, but it's very important. Otherwise, I would not ask you.
You want me to search his personal belongings?
Why not? You should have already done that.
Good. That parcel is part of the evidence. I cannot just remove something and give it to you until the police have completed their investigations.
But that something was mine.
No matter. Until the case is officially closed, I cannot even show you any of those things.
I understand. Thank you, Doctor. At least I know where that plastic bill exchange is.
Offer to give money. Interesting choice. Let's do it.
Doctor, do you think you could go outside for a moment so I could have a look around? I could forget my wallet on the table when you return.
Excuse me? If I had not known your family for so long, I would be offended. Look, I can see where you're coming from. I already told you the parcel has to stay sealed until the investigation is over.
So we have to get the investigation over. And that just kicks me out of the place. So we don't even have to realize or deal with anything in the place at all. Let's look in the dustbin, look in the garbage container. And then just, I guess, go back to the city.
Torn papers are on the top. Somebody must have disposed of them only a little while ago. They're not wet. I'll have a look at them.
Is this another puzzle? I wouldn't be upset with another puzzle. It was difficult, but
Garbage. I'm not going to dig in it.
it would actually be helpful to have more gameplay. Where's that large padlock?
Get the padlock off without a key. The lid is held shut by a large padlock.
So clearly we're going to interact with that.
It was torn to pieces. Obviously, they didn't want anyone to read it.
Alright, back to puzzles. And this is going to be easier than the one before because the English language is easy enough to tell if things are supposed to be right side up or wrong side down, so you really can't fool me that much. Put the small pieces away. Put the This is the same message, I can already tell, that we read before. The one that Henry Robert was it? So if it was the gardener that was doing the deliveries and gardener got killed, there's now two reasons that he might have been murdered. He might have failed or asked too many questions in his secret deliveries, or he could have been killed by Morse, who he was trying to blackmail. Like, the fact that they're trying to hide this makes it look a lot more guilty than it normally would if Robert was just getting deliveries of something innocuous and inconsequential. Then why hide the message to deliver it and then hide the message to destroy it?
Dear H, my next delivery will reach you soon.
Delivery will reach you soon. You need not worry. Everything has gone smoothly. No one knows anything, and that is how it is going to stay. Do not forget that what I am doing here is for the good of science, and without your help, I would be unable to continue my research. I will send you my results, as usual, within the next month.
So it is a different message.
Herman is likely the addressee, but who's hiding behind the R? What kind of delivery are they talking about in that letter?
Robert. So we could go back to the morgue and talk to the guy, and maybe that's the right move. Otherwise, the right move is to go through the city, catch a fish for no reason, try to fix the boat, and we can't do any of that. The real goal, I imagine, is to finish the investigation and close it so we can get the bill of sale, so we can get the strange item. It kind of feels like we'll be halfway through the game before we even have the strange item, let alone enter the secret crypt and use the strange item. The second half of this game, hopefully it's the second half and not the last third of the game, seems like it's all going to be in a cryptic secret place with lots of puzzles and combinations and a lot less talking. Anyways, though, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.